Hi everyone, Bernard here with the latest Citizen vlog, and it's the latest look at the old delve into the old not got the lost world of Manchester City. Obviously memorabilia, football memorabilia, obviously relevant to most clubs, but obviously what we're interested in is our club, isn't it, Manchester City? So that's obviously this little book put together by Hammond and Gary Silke. Some great memories and just looking through, and personal memories for me as well, and stuff I've got based on what I've seen. Please, if you're new to the Citizen vlogs, this is class as a citizen past rather than citizen present. But I have past and present, obviously, and in between, obviously, we have quizzes, etc. So please, if you're new to the channel, please push your subscribe button, tell your friends about us, and obviously we're not one of the biggest fan vlogs for Manchester City by any means. Probably the smallest there is, but quality, not quantity, as far as subscribers and content. I hope I do a little bit different with content anyway. I mean, there's a lot of stuff out there. I try and be a little bit different. No point. I don't want to do it unless I'm a little bit different. There's no point in me doing everything the same as everybody else. So please tell your friends. Get them subscribed. Be fantastic. Push the bell notification so you know when these little vlogs are coming out. And obviously, if your settings are to public, please. If your settings are private, you won't get to know about the notifications. So make sure your settings are to public as well, so you get these notifications. And please, views are great, but thumbs ups are great. I'm just trying to encourage everyone to give us a thumbs up, just so I know you're out there. And obviously, if you can't leave comments, at least just click on that thumb up for me. It only takes a split second, doesn't it? Absolutely fantastic. Now, I'm going to look at three things today. We're going to look at fanzines. We're going to look at grass. Have you ever been on the pitch at the Etihad or Main Road? I'm sure you've been on the pitch. I'm sure you had the urge to take a little bit of grass and stuff like this. I think I've got a little bit of Wembley, believe it or not. I've got a bit of Wembley's pitch, and I've got somewhere, I don't know, it's probably rotted away by now. I just put it in a programme or a memory box at the time. So, and I certainly had a little bit of the Etihad. I've certainly had a little bit of Main Road as well. So, yeah, I mean, it's quite funny actually. I did play a charity match at Main Road many years ago, and I was absolutely miffed when. Obviously, I played in the boots I had. Obviously, I had mud and grass on it, as you would expect. Not too much, because obviously the pitch was superb, obviously, but there was a little bit there. I just put my boots away, and it just sort of dropped off. Usually, you used to have to clean your boots, didn't you? I was very disappointed that I couldn't, it wasn't there anymore. So there you go. Well, that's another story. Yeah, we're also going to look at that, and we're also going to look at the league football issue programs that used to come with programs in the 70s as well. So three things we're going to look at. So look at fanzines. Just reading from the book got here. Obviously Hammond and Gary Silke. Following on from the 70s music-led revolution in DIY publishing, it took a while for football to catch up, but eventually fans took to their cranky old typewriters, hunting and pecking and chinging out their frustrations and learning all new reprographic skills along the way. They were tired of hearing the fans' view expressed second-hand in the media, where the final edit was always predictably happy and safe before the 1980s. Every word written about football came from an industry perspective, tapped out by writers who were paid by newspapers, magazines, television companies or club programmes, which were in turn reliant on the FA, the league or the clubs themselves. It's a tough job running the back page of a local paper without access to news, information, player interviews or pictures. No such problems for the first wave of fanzine rebels who offered all new diet of uncensored opinion, cut with terrace humour, finally putting the majority view of 20,000 regulars above the handful of professionals and hired hands. The chairman, the players, the manager, the gentlemen of the press box who were just passing through. Suddenly your familiar old programme seller had a bit of competition on the streets from the titles such as Blueprint, Rodney, the King of the Kickbacks, soon to be followed by Singing the Blues, this charming fan, Are You Blue or Are You Blind, The Fight Back, Chips and Gravy, Exit Brew, Main Stand View, A Million Miles Away, City Till I Cry, and so on. I mean, obviously there's Bert Troutman's Helmet as well as one there's a couple of these I'd never heard of, to be honest with you. No matter they were presented under headlines written using felt tip pen or John Bull printing outfit number 7. Here for the very first time in print with negative as well as positive views on our beloved clubs and teams, jokes at our own expense, better jokes at United's expense, album and gig reviews, stories of away trips, pubs and pies, always pies. And somewhere along the way we discovered it wasn't just the fans in our corner of our ground who felt the same way about all-seater stadia and ID cards, about the wreckers who came to football to chuck bananas and seats on the pitch, and the wreckers who came bearing calculators and pies. So I mean, yeah, I mean, it shows a couple. It shows obviously the blueprint. If you remember blueprint, it shows an issue of early issue of King of the Kickbacks there as well. I mean, that was issue number 6, September '89. I do have a story about another zine. I'm not going to call it a fanzine because it was never meant to be a fanzine. I did touch upon it in my very first episode that I did. It's called, obviously, and the magazine was called Citizen, believe it or not. And obviously I did touch, if you ever go back and watch the first one, look at the playlist, the very first one I did touch upon. I might do a special on it one day about the Citizen. I'm going to say it was a magazine, it wasn't a fanzine. But I was personally doing fanzines on things from the early 80s. I used to do fanzines on computer games and pokes and hints on completing games and stuff like that. I used to take all the information from all the magazines, stick them in one place, and I used to sell them through the back of the publications. You know, it didn't cost me anything, free publicity, free advert, and people used to send off, and I used to cut and paste, typewriter, and cut and paste, handwritten. The first one was handwritten. And I used to do things for my amateur teams as well, my Sunday League teams. I used to do little pamphlets, match reports, etc. So that was probably about 81, 82, 83. So I mean, these were in the late 80s when they really took off with the football. And I don't know why I never thought of doing a football one. I just didn't. I was too busy doing the computer one, to be honest with you. But yeah, by November '89, I had the possibility of putting something together for Manchester City, but it didn't come to be. But I'll tell you about that another time anyway. So this isn't the time for that. I might do a little special on that. I'll try to dig some information up for you and some images, etc. at the time. But yeah, so we got the King of the Kickbacks. I mean, it's still with us, obviously. That's the only one left, isn't it? Such a shame. I mean, this is sort of newish. It's on. I tend, if I get it now, I do tend to get it online, but I must admit I don't always avidly get it now like I used to. There's so much other stuff to read and watch on vlogs and on podcasts, etc. So, well, you know, it's still there, still going. All credit to Mr. Wallace there for that. But things like that, I mean, obviously, as I said, Bert Troutman's element. I mean, it was just a way of keeping in touch, wasn't it? It was just fantastic. And I mean, I don't know how many Dave Wallace sells now in print. I don't know how many sells online. You know, obviously I noticed the online one did go up in price from £3 to £4. I'm not sure whether that was because he's not been able to sell the hard copy, the last issue. So I don't know if that's going to be a permanent thing. I'm not too sure. But yeah, fanzines have been part of our lives, haven't they? It's such a shame there's only one left, and it's such a shame that these things move on though, don't they? We get podcasts and we get vlogs, so that was just quite interesting on the fanzines. Yeah, I mean, a little bit of the pitch. I mean, it was quite funny because I was looking through this like sacred turf. Now this guy went a little bit further, and I don't know whether this guy's still got this stuff. But lifelong City fan Craig Trout of Oldham, so he lives in Oldham, was determined not to be beaten by City, shutting up shop at Main Road back in 2003. Make enough effort, and any person, place or time can persist, and not just in your memory. Together with his mates, he got permission to transplant, I'm not talking a little sod of grass here, a large chunk of sacred turf from the hallowed Main Road. So there's his garden. There's his garden prepared for it. And there they are at Main Road, taking the turf off. I've got another little picture. If you look at the picture there, there's the obviously the chunk of Main Road that it took. Absolutely fantastic. And then into his garden, transformed. Look, there it is in his garden. Absolutely superb. So that was beyond, wasn't it? I mean, obviously it won't be the same Main Road now, will it? Because it would have grown. But I mean, the roots would be the same, won't they? But it would have been cut and grown. You know, it's like Trigger's sweep brush, and you know, same brush, but it's like 11 different handles and 6 heads. But I mean, it's still the same grass roots, isn't it? I'm sure it is. So be interested to know if it's still there. If anyone out there knows if that still exists, the Main Road's little pitch there in someone's back garden, if that actually still is still there. Yeah, it's quite interesting to say. I'm sure I can find a piece of old rotting grass somewhere. And the last thing we're going to look at today is something called the League Football Review. And obviously there's great ones there with City. I've got a few here. I've not found one with the City or the City pictures like that on it. But yeah, the Football League Review. I mean, this run from the back bedroom of Secretary Alan Hardacre's Blackpool bungalow. Not really. The Football League was devoted to showing everyone what a big happy family their 92-member club was. The Football League Review was a feel-good customer mag given away free inside club programmes. So, I mean, it was never given in the City programme, I know that. I don't think it was. I mean, I'm still said that. It was in a FA Cup final. I think it was in the FA Cup final against Leicester. I think it was in there. But I'm fairly sure it was never in City's programme. I certainly haven't got any programmes with it in the middle anyway. It was a feel-good customer mag given away inside the club programmes where it bolstered many 4 or 8 page lower league efforts. Yeah, so that you did find that. I mean, even teams like Liverpool used to have it. You used to get the Liverpool programme. You think, oh, that's massive, that. But obviously half of it was this Football League Review. However, in stark comparison to the petty, politicking, backstabbing, golf clubbing, small-minded scrap metal merchant football club owners of the 70s, fans dug the freebies to bits, especially Mike Summerby featured on the cover. The review was 5p. Yes, it did have a price, and as you can see, I've got my own little set here, different ones. That's a great one of a Leeds fan there, isn't it? Fantastic. Yeah, 5p, but you never actually paid 5p for it. It was full of behind the scenes. I'll show you through a couple in a minute. It's full of behind the scenes peeks at day-to-day running of all the league clubs. An article on the boot room at Barrow being just as likely as a visit to the Arsenal trophy room. Yeah, so they did spread it about, but it wasn't all about the glamour. It wasn't all about the glamour clubs. It was everywhere, So that was great. Then and now, It's a Law was almost entirely down to staff photographer Peter Robinson, who spent whole seasons travelling around snapping mascots at Mansfield and tea ladies in Tranmere, thinking up ever more unusual formations for his team groups. Yeah, so as I say, I've got lots of programmes with them still in the middle. These are where they've actually come out, or I've taken them out over time. Just a few programmes there of the thing. And this was the sort of thing you got in it. You always got obviously it's White Hart Lane there. Great, I used that in a quiz into that picture. But it wasn't just the big boys. Coventry City, Highfield Road. Remember Highfield Road before the debacle that Coventry are now going through. Absolute shambles for a good club. But yeah, I mean, obviously I've just shown you 2 big clubs. You got Chelsea. I mean, but they did have smaller clubs as well, not just the big clubs. Just looking now, I can't find one there. So there's one, typical Crewe Alexandra. So yeah, I think they tried to spread the information out between all 92 clubs as much as they could. And there's articles in it and things like that. Some great adverts for cigarettes. Yeah, I like the old adverts for cigarettes, fantastic. And team pictures, you got team pictures. Liverpool there. From 1974-75. Usually the middle pages, so you could always put them on your wall, couldn't you? Got an ex-City manager there as well. I've just seen spotted an ex-City manager, but there you go. So it's not always the big clubs. Notts County no longer in the league, are they not now? Did they get back in? I'm not sure, but I don't think they are in the league anymore at the moment. Notts County, circa 73-74. You've got Howard Kendall. Yeah, knew we had a City manager in there somewhere. Millwall Football Club, the old den. So yeah, some great images, some nice, some simple articles. They're only 16 pages. It was only 16 pages, but yeah, I mean, these are really good. As I say, they did obviously for the smaller clubs. Obviously, they might have had a 4 or 8 page program, so this obviously bolstered the program for them. Fix the ceiling on transfer fees. So it's just interesting articles and pieces, just general football chat and football stuff. Tranmere Rovers, yeah, image of Tranmere Rovers. Division 4 assessed quality, but they'd had things on the World Cup and various things, and it was just, yeah, even had coaching things, where they actually had you to coach. So that was the League Football magazine, which is really good. I'm not sure how many years it ran for. It certainly wasn't around, I don't think, in the 80s. So it would have been from the late 60s to the mid 70s, I would have thought, the football. So you probably got if you got a few old programs, or you buy programs through the internet, you'll probably stumble across. But that's a great one, that's a fantastic one, isn't it? Let's see, the Leeds mascot there, the kids next to him, absolutely brilliant. I mean, you'd have our guy, wouldn't you? You'd have Pete the Badge, wouldn't you? Obviously in this sort of thing. Yeah, you know, York City. They don't get a middle page spread, the York City, but again, you got an image. But yeah, I've looked through all these, and there's very little information on City in them. But I mean, they would have been, as I said, on the cover that they've shown us on the Got Not Got. Obviously, City did appear in some, obviously, but there you go. Yeah, the Football League review. So hope you enjoyed that Got Not Got today. Obviously, we're back with something else. You can dip in and out of this all the time for our City history, City past vlogs. So please let me know if you've got any memories of those, the fanzines, or if you know about that back garden, whether it's still a piece of main road, that back garden. Obviously, if you got some of these Football League reviews, any City pictures in, post the pictures, send the pictures to me. I'd love to have a look at them. Anyway, thanks for watching today. You can follow me on Twitter. I've got two Twitter names, Twitter sites, or whatever you call them. You can follow me on either or both. It's up to you. I'm at Charles Dineen, Dineen spelt D-I-N-N-E-N. I'm at Nostalgia_movie, so everything about City. I repost stuff on there and put stuff on there about City. And I'm also on this thing, moviegamenostalgia.com. It's just my little website, my little day job for old rare DVDs, movie posters from the 90s and 2000s. And board games, like the oldest retro board games, 70s, 80s, 90s mainly, from Parker, Waddington's, MB games, all that sort of thing. So if you ever get a chance to have a look at moviegamenostalgia.com, much appreciated. Thumbs up for you lot. Anyway, hope you enjoyed that Got Not Got. I'll be back soon with another one, see what else we can dig up. And as I said, as far as the fanzines are concerned, the one that wasn't mentioned, you know, we had the King of the Kickbacks, we had Bert Troutman's helmet, we had all the others, but he nearly had a little bit more high-profile magazine, but that it all fell through, unfortunately, and ended in disaster for me anyway. I was hoping for big things, but there you go. That's another story, but I'll do that. I'll do a little special on that one day. I'll let you know all about that. But as I said, if you check Citizen Vlog episode 1, it is quite a long one. It's certainly over an hour, that first one, with different things in it when I was playing around in my very first pilot episode, if you like. So if you want to have a quick idea of what it was about, have a look back at that. Fantastic. Anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for watching today. Thanks for joining me. What are we going to do with the rest of the day? Have a great one. Look after yourself, look after your friends, look after your family. And at these times, please, let's all look after each other. Hopefully you'll join me again very soon for something else. This is Bear saying bye for now. Bye-bye.